Hey everybody. Yeah, I know, it's been a really long time. I kind of wasn't sure if I was going to keep doing these, but I'm going to try another one, see if we can get these going again. Um, so the album I'm going to talk about today is the second album by a band called Snail Mail called Valentine, and here is the album cover. Snail Mail is a fronted by Lindsay Jordan. Uh, She is, I think she's like 20 years old now. She's the lead singer, chief songwriter. Basically, the band is there to support her, but she's the visionary of the band. This is her second album, A Snail Mail. The first album was Lush, which was a very good debut album. And this album is a nice follow up. It's very solid. It starts off with Valentine, which is definitely up there among her better songs. Ben Franklin is also a solid song, has a kind of a different feel for her. It has a propulsive, sort of a little bit of electronica beat with a little bit more of a propulsive bass line moving away from the guitars. That's kind of like Lindsay's trademark. Yeah, and generally speaking, this album kind of represents a more sophisticated palette of musical choices in terms of sounds, and the songs kind of pull from a wider range of sound. In the first album, Lush, Lindsay kind of had a lot of songs that kind of inhabited the same sonic territory. In this album, she definitely is pulling from a larger pool of resources, and it has a lot more diverse sound than the first album did. Also, I would say that her vocals are a little bit stronger on this album. It definitely appears like she's been building to a wider range of vocal delivery so that her she kind of sang in kind of a more of a higher register, and she's kind of moving around her register a little bit. So a lot of the things that I kind of wanted her to do from the first album to the second album, she's done. She's spread out the diversity of the sounds of the album, and then she also has kind of embraced a little bit more of a sophisticated songwriting. The one downside of the album compared to her initial album Lush is that because she strips down the songs are they don't have kind of the structure, and like the Lush has several songs that are like 5 minutes long. This song, the longest song on the album, is like 4.5 minutes. This is a 10 song album, and it's done in like 35 minutes. It's a short, quick album, which I don't have a problem with at all. But there was kind of these, like, the word lush in a way was a good way to describe it, because there were times when Lindsay would use her guitars to create kind of a lush sonic landscape where the songs could work in. You don't really get that as much on this album. These songs are a lot more quick hitting. They're a lot more just kind of they're there and they're done. And sometimes I miss the little bit of the atmospheric musical approach. I hope that when she moves forward for the next album, that she might try to find a compromise between what she did on Valentine and what she did on Lush. I think that would be interesting to hear as her next step in her evolution as an artist. However, she pretty much did what I wanted her to do. It's definitely a good showing. There definitely is easy growth to see on this album, and you know, and I look forward to hearing more from this artist because she really is truly something special. And for somebody that's still so young, I guess the one thing I should mention that's come up a lot in the press is The album thematically, lyric wise, is obviously about primarily about a breakup, and then the other press about it was that she did some brief time at a rehab facility where she was having some issues with drinking. Um, so there's definitely a narrative about this relationship and what happened with that that kind of weaves its way throughout the all the tracks on the album. Now, in terms of what that narrative is specifically, you can't really tell because you weren't involved in the events, if you know what I mean. It's like, but there's little pieces of a story, and if you want to try to piece together the details of her life or whatever caused these songs to be written the way they were, I guess that's your choice. But I just enjoy the songs. I enjoy the songwriting in terms of it getting better, and I look forward to her. And I don't know, myself personally, I know that she says that she feels better writing about intensely personal things, but I would almost be interested to see if she just kind of just wrote songs and moved away from being so much about herself and her own life and just wrote a song to write a song. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thank you. Goodbye.